Greetings internet peopleoids, Darkly Dave here. Living in Australia is generally pretty good, but at the moment we're having, well, the government is intending to have, it's probably going to get blocked in the Senate at this rate, a plebiscite on marriage equality. This deeply offensive vote on whether we should have equal rights to other citizens, and this is a vote not in the Parliament, but in the general public, that will be funded by the government for both the yes and no campaigns, a cost of $7.5 million to each side. So, yay for government-endorsed bigotry. Wouldn't be the first fucking time. This $15 million is in addition to the $160 million price tag already expected and more than likely going to blow out on the plebiscite. Oh, and another fun fact, this vote on whether my community, should have equal rights or not, is also going to be held on the day of my sister's wedding, so there's a nice fucking kick in the teeth from the universe. Thank you so much. So yeah, I'll be happily attending my sister's wedding, and I'm delighted for her, it's wonderful, but just, you couldn't fucking write this shit. But Australia hasn't got a fantastic record as far as equal treatment in law for various groups on the basis of sex, gender, sexuality, race, creed, you name it. We like to pretend that we're a free and equal society, and most Australians at street level are. Most of them are genuine, decent people. We've also got a lot of bigots, but most places do. The trouble is, the government is run by very conservative and arguably very old and out of touch men, for the large part, whose very orthodox view of the world hasn't changed since the 1950s. I think more than a few of them are actually rather begrudging that women get a vote, to be honest. So, having homosexuals out and around, and now they want to marry one another? I mean, the world will end. Everything will crumble. It's not like every fucking Western nation in the world, aside from one or two exceptions, has marriage equality already. And half of them just passed it in Parliament. It wasn't hard. We had the numbers in the Parliament to pass this on a free vote, which would have cost the public nothing. It could have been done in the Senate, ratified, done, finished, fixed. But no, because Tony Abbott, the then Prime Minister and now outed Prime Minister, came up with this ridiculous and offensive stalling tactic, and that's all it is. It's a holding pattern so the Catholics can get one last dig in before they're told to fuck off out of Parliament. And it's not just the Catholics, I'm not singling out Catholics. It's just quite a few of them are Catholic or Anglican and really conservative. And it just shits me because we're supposed to have this idea of separation of church and state, and it doesn't fucking happen. Australia's track record with equality, especially LGBTQ plus equality, is pathetic. Scant 30 odd years ago, it was still illegal to be homosexual. It was classified as a mental disease. People were locked up. People's lives were ruined when the first Mardi Gras was run, and newspapers and police publicly outed people, many of whom were still in the closet, many of whom got fired, many of whom got excommunicated from their families. So, as much as Australia likes to pretend that it's this great and wonderful place, often it's not. It tries really hard, a lot of the time, but it's not. It's a lie. And the most fucked up thing is, Queensland only just equalised the law for Queensland only just equalised the age law for anal sex. For some reason that was a specific thing that had to be singled out, to 16, same as any other sex act. It still has, along with South Australia, the gay panic laws, which means that if I went into a bar or some other space in Queensland or South Australia, came onto a guy and he hospitalised me, he could claim that he panicked. And it's not his fault. He just felt such a rage at being asked out by someone that he snapped and beat them senseless. And he'll get signed off with a slap on the wrist. Oh, well, yeah, okay, fair enough. I mean, this is pretty much a throwback to the days when the police just marked numerous killings in the Bondi region, among others, as, oh, they must have committed suicide. I mean, they were beaten half to death and then thrown off a cliff, but no, it was suicide, it's fine. It's just another faggot. So the point is, this ridiculous plebiscite is going to bring out the worst of what there is out there. I mean, you want to see the sort of reactions you're going to get at a plebiscite from the no camp, who, I might add, you are a homophobe. Irrespective of what you call yourself, if you say that someone, be it sex, race, gender, creed, is unequal to you because they are whatever they are and you are not, you are a bigot. If you say because someone is LGBT and they aren't equal to you, you are a homophobe, or transphobic, or any of the numerous terms we have to describe people like you. It's not a matter of opinion. It's not, oh, well, these are my feelings on it. Yes, they are. And that makes you a bigot. So, when fucking Malcolm Turnbull, who we'd hoped wouldn't be the fucking lapdog of the right wing in the party, turns around and says, oh no, we need to have a respectful debate. I'd like to see the other side be a little bit more respectful. We're simply calling them out on what they are doing. They perpetuate lies, which I will add, given that with the plebiscite's advertisement, will be classed as political ads, and therefore, and here's a really fucked up little nugget of information, means they don't actually fall under the category of advertising standards, so they can lie completely and utterly. They can vilify people without any reasonable cause, it's just mind-boggling that they can turn around and say, what's the next step? Bestiality, pedophilia, incest, and all the other really fucked up shit that they pull out of their asses and compare us to. And we're expected to just roll over and take it from these people just because the man in the sky they believe in tells them it's okay. Well, it's not okay. It's just makes me so fucking angry that we have to put up with this, that we're expected to just smile and nod and say, oh, okay, that's your opinion. I'm done with being called an abomination or an enemy of God or any of the numerous other fucked up terms I've had slung at me before. Look at YouTube comment sections. We get told we need to be shot, hung, put into fucking gas chambers. So when you tell me that this is going to be a civilized debate, all I can do is stand with my mouth agape at how disconnected you are to what is out there. And the vast majority of Australians aren't bigoted. The vast majority of Australians won't come out with this. But you are giving these people a platform to spew hatred out into the world, more so than they already do. I mean, pick up the Daily Telegraph whenever it runs an LGBT story that makes it into the editorials. Read the articles by people like Miranda Devine and Piers Ackerman. Look at the shit spewed forth from people like Lyle Shelton, calling us out and saying that rainbow families are the new stolen generation. Do you have any idea how offensive that is to so many people in this country? Do you have any conceptualization of comparing us asking for equal rights to the rise of fascism in Germany? Just let that sink in for a second. They compared us to Nazis simply for asking for equal rights. If this plebiscite goes ahead, there are going to be so many vulnerable people out there that are going to be hurt and fucking torn apart by this. And the absolute callousness exhibited to these people, where you say that they don't matter. You say, well, everyone gets a vote on this. Where was our vote when they changed it in the first place? When John Howard in 2004 altered the Marriage Act to specifically state that it was between a man and a woman, because that caveat wasn't there before. That got passed through Senate on the sly. That barely even made it into the newspapers noting its passing. And to people who say that they deserve the right to say whether I should have equal rights, whether people like me should have equal rights in this country, I'm disgusted with you. You're telling me that your opinion is valid enough to state whether I should be considered an equal in a country I am a citizen of. I was born in this country. And sometimes I'm proud of it, but not right now. Right now, I can't believe that we are still having this debate. And so many people are just so tired of talking about it and shouting and fighting. We fought. Those before us have fought so hard. And we're still fighting. And it's ridiculous that we're still fighting. So please, if it does come to a plebiscite, as I know so many of you already support this view, vote yes. Let us have equal rights. There's so many of you that say that you're sick of hearing about it. Then vote yes. And the issue's resolved. Because we won't ever stop fighting. We won't ever stop pushing and pushing until we get equality. And we're not asking for extra rights. We're not asking that straights have to fucking wait 12 months to give blood because they might be carrying HIV. Which I might add, there is an astounding amount of straight people out there having unprotected sex, and they don't even have to get tested to give blood. Laws like gay panic, people like fucking Tony Abbott and Cory Bernardi and so many others that are allowed to spit in our faces in session in Parliament, comparing us to some of the most horrific crimes in Western society, just for wanting equal rights. The world isn't fair, but there are things we can do to make it a better place, and this is one of them. It won't solve everything, and that's true, it won't. But it's such a symbol, and it's not about marriage itself. Though for some it is, it's about legal equality. There are so many things that same-sex couples are denied in law that straight couples and opposite gender couples can have. Things like inheritance law and end-of-life decisions. If you're in a civil partnership, you can't make those decisions. You have to rely on a family that may not even speak to this person anymore, whom you love, and you can't do anything. Things like visitation rights, and it's so fucked up that this still goes on. So, if you've made it all the way to the end of this mess of a video, and we do go ahead to a plebiscite, please vote yes. Thank you for watching.